Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we're really ripping open a topic that sits right at the heart of pretty much every transaction now, orders management. And, the customer experience that goes with it.
hmm
Think about it. You hit buy online and bam, this whole hidden world just springs into action to get that thing to your door.
Exactly. Yeah, and we've been looking at a source here, a guy that's specifically trying to tackle those common questions. It promises like real answers
Yeah.
on everything from tracking orders to that confirmation email you get.
Right. So our mission here in this deep dive is to pull out the really essential stuff from this guide. We want to give you the insights to, well, smooth out that whole journey from clicking buy to it landing on your doorstep, whether you run a business or you're just, curious.
Yeah, and it turns out there's quite a bit more to it than just boxes and tape.
Definitely more than just logistics.
It's really about orchestrating the whole experience.
Okay, let's unpack this then. So imagine you're on the business side, right? You've just had a huge sale, maybe a product launch that just, phew, blew up.
Huh?
Orders are flying in faster than you can really keep up. There's that immediate scramble. Checking stock. Are the addresses right? How do we ship this fast enough? Meeting those delivery promises.
That feeling, that kind of exciting chaos, that's exactly why orders management is so critical.
Yeah.
I mean, at its core, it's the entire life cycle of a customer's order.
The whole things.
Every single step, from the second they submit the order all the way through to delivery, and even, what happens after, like returns.
Okay, so why does nailing this matter so much? What's the real bottom line?
Oh, the impact is huge. When
Yeah.
you've got a solid orders management process, that potential chaos, it turns into something much more harmonious. You like drastically cut down on mistakes people make by hand.
Like shipping the wrong thing.
Exactly. Or typing the address wrong. It speeds up how fast you get orders out the door.
Right.
And, maybe most importantly, it directly hits customer satisfaction. The guide really emphasizes this doesn't matter if you ship 5 packages a week or 5,000.
Mm-hmm.
Mastering this is the difference between, say, hitting painful growing pains and just scaling smoothly.
That makes total sense. So once you get how big this is, the next step is, well, how do you actually manage it all? For most businesses now, that means technology, right? A system.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Choosing that system, it's a big decision. The guide lays out some key things you really need to think about based on your own operation.
Like what?
Well, things like your business size and volume. I mean, are we talking 10 orders a day or thousands?
Yeah.
Then your sales channels, just your website, or maybe marketplaces too, a physical store with a POS.
Okay.
Then there's inventory complexity,
And
because your stock all in one place, multiple warehouses
Mhm.
to use drop shippers. And really critical, integration needs. How does this system need to talk to your other tools like accounting, CRM, maybe even a big ERP system?
Wow, okay, that's a fair bit to juggle. So if you're looking at systems, what features should you be prioritizing?
The guide suggests the big ones are real-time updates.
Yeah.
You need to know what's happening everywhere, instantly.
Mm.
Automation features are huge things like automatically sending confirmations or getting alerts when stock is low.
Saves a lot of manual work, I bet.
Totally. And just a clean, easy-to-use interface for your team. Oh, and usually cloud-based systems tend to be best. They scale easier. You can access them from anywhere. Big plus.
Okay, but let's be real. Even with great tech, managing orders isn't always, a walk in the park.
Yeah, definitely not.
What are the typical headaches, the friction points people run into?
Oh, yeah, there are definite pain points. The guide lists a few common ones, those manual errors we talked
Yep.
about, grabbing the wrong item, getting the count wrong, messing up the shipping label.
Mm.
A really big one is lack of visibility, just not knowing where an order is in the process, which often leads straight to delayed shipments because you don't spot the bottlenecks. And then poor communication, just leaving the customer hanging, not giving them updates.
Sounds like the stuff that keeps business owners up at night. But, okay, the good news is you can fix this stuff, right?
Yeah.
What does the guide say about actually improving things, tackling these issues?
Yes, absolutely fixable. It mostly comes down to streamlining and monitoring. A big one is automate repetitive tasks.
Yeah.
Let the system handle shipping notices, inventory syncs, stuff like that.
Makes sense.
You need to centralize information. Get all your order data onto one dashboard so you can actually see it all. Regular staff training is key to cut down those manual errors. And maybe the most important for getting better over time, Monitor your KPIs, your
Yeah.
key performance indicators.
KPIs, can you just quickly unpack what those are in this context?
Sure. So KPIs are basically just numbers you track to see how well you're doing on important goals. For orders management, that means tracking things like, say, your average fulfillment time, how long from order placed to shipped,
Hmm.
your return rates, and obviously customer satisfaction scores. Watching these tells you where things are running smoothly and where you need to, you know, iron things out.
Got it. So automate, centralize, train, measure. And if you actually do all that,
Well, by optimizing each step, you really reduce those friction points. It's not just smoother inside your business. It builds a tougher process that lets you scale up without everything, falling apart.
okay, now here's where I thought it got really interesting. The guide talks about delivering solutions. That sounds like, well, a different way of thinking about it all, not just moving boxes.
Exactly. Delivering solutions means seeing fulfillment as like a core part of the customer experience, not just logistics.
How so?
It means understanding the customer isn't just buying a thing.
Hmm.
They have a need,
Really?
right? Or a want. And the whole process from clicking buy to getting the item, that's how you deliver on the promise to meet that need. You're basically solving their problem of wanting that item and doing it reliably, conveniently.
Okay, I get the concept.
Yeah.
How does that actually play out? What's involved in delivering solutions like that?
It means offering flexibility, being transparent.
Yeah.
So things like customizable delivery options, maybe they want it super fast or on a specific day, or maybe an eco-friendly option.
Right.
It's about sending proactive, real-time notifications, letting them know what's happening, making sure support channels are easy to find if they have questions, and, importantly, making returns and exchanges as smooth and painless as possible.
That makes a ton of sense. You're not just dropping off a package, you're delivering the answer to why they bought it in the first place, all wrapped up in a good experience.
Exactly.
So what are the payoffs for thinking like that?
The benefits are pretty substantial, actually, and they kind of build on each other. It's a huge way to build trust.
Mm.
When it's smooth and clear, customers feel good about ordering again. This proactive approach, it can actually boost efficiency inside the business too, because you catch problems earlier. And naturally, a good experience means improved loyalty, more repeat business, plus, in a crowded market, reliability and a great experience give you a real competitive edge. It's tough to compete with that.
Okay, let's zoom in on one really core part of that experience, tracking. Why do customers care so much about delivery tracking these days?
Oh, it's huge. Customers basically demand it now.
Yeah.
It's just seen as table stakes. Delivery tracking is just giving the customer that real-time view of their order's journey, from your warehouse to their house. The guide is really clear. Customers crave transparency. They want to know, where is my package right now? And have a decent idea when it'll arrive. It just removes all that uncertainty.
So what does a system need to do to provide good tracking? What are the capabilities?
Well, for tracking to be really effective,
Mm-hmm.
the system needs real-time location updates. Not just shipped, but in transit, out for delivery. That level of detail.
Right.
It should automatically push out notifications for those key events: shipped, delayed, delivered. It absolutely has to let customers self-track easily, like through a link or a portal. And behind the scenes, technically, that means good integration with maps and, importantly, the APIs from the shipping companies.
API, that's the application programming interface, like the technical handshake between systems.
Yeah, exactly that. It's how your system pulls the latest tracking info from the carrier system so you can show it to the customer straight away.
Okay, makes sense. And what's the benefit for the business itself, apart from just happier customers?
There's a massive operational win. Yes, it builds trust, manages expectations, all that good stuff. But effective self-serve tracking, it takes a huge load off your customer support team. Think about it. How many calls or emails are just, where's my order?
Yeah.
If customers can easily find that out themselves, your support team can focus on trickier problems.
Yeah, that's a definite win-win. So practically, how does a business actually set up effective tracking?
The guide lays out the steps pretty clearly. First, choose carriers or platforms that actually give you good API access to that tracking data.
Okay.
Then, you integrate those tracking codes into your order system so the information flows. Set up automatic updates to ping the customer at key points. And really important, offer a self-service portal or a tracking page on your site. Customers just pop in their order number, get the latest status. Consistency here is key. The smoother the tracking, the better the whole experience feels.
All right, let's switch gears slightly. Let's talk about the very first thing a customer gets after they hit buy that order confirmation. What makes a confirmation really good?
The confirmation. It's not just a digital receipt, right?
Yeah.
It's that Instant reassurance. It confirms the purchase went through and kind of sets the tone for everything that follows.
So what should it be like?
The guide says a good one should be immediate, like within seconds. It needs to be clear, summing up all the key details, easy to scan, a little like calendar. Personalization helps. Using their name makes it feel less robotic. And it should be actionable. Give them links to track, contact support, maybe even modify the order if that's possible.
Okay, what absolutely has to be in that email? The non-negotiables.
Right. The essentials according to the guide, the order number, obviously, an itemized list of what they bought, prices, quantities, the correct billing and shipping address, vital check there, a payment summary, an estimated delivery date, manage those expectations early,
Crucial.
a tracking link as soon as you have one, and definitely clear customer service contact info. Make it easy for them to reach out.
The guide also mentioned these emails can kind of do double duty.
Yeah, absolutely. Confirmation emails have super high open rates, right? So it's prime real estate. You can subtly use it to maybe suggest related products, mention your loyalty program, or even slip in a small discount for next time. Encourage them to come back.
Smart. But let's be honest, mistakes happen, even with good systems. What if there's an error in the confirmation? Wrong item, typo in the address. How should businesses handle that?
This is one of those moments that can actually define your brand for that customer. The guide is really strong on this. How you handle errors is everything.
Okay, so what's the playbook?
If you spot a mistake, or worse, the customer does. Step 1, send a correction immediately. Don't wait. Step 2, reach out proactively. Tell them you found it, explain what happened, don't make them chase you.
Makes sense.
Step 3, offer a quick resolution. A refund, a correction, an exchange, make it easy. And step 4, internally, log the issue. Figure out why it happened so you can stop it happening again.
So fast, upfront, and fix it.
Exactly. A quick, honest, helpful response. It can genuinely turn someone who's understandably annoyed into someone who's actually more loyal because you showed you care and you fixed things properly. You can turn that negative right around.
Okay, bringing this all together then, it really sounds like technology isn't just nice to have, it's, well, essential. How does tech act as the glue for this whole complicated orders management thing today?
Oh, it's absolutely fundamental. It is the glue holding all these moving parts together. The guide points out how tech lets you sync everything in real time across all your channels: website, store, POS, apps, marketplace.
All talking to each other.
Right. It drives real-time inventory management so you don't sell stuff you don't have. It gives you the data to forecast demand, spot trends. It automates all those routine tasks we keep mentioning, freeing up people. And maybe most importantly, it provides the analytics and insights, the numbers you need to see what's working, what's not, and where you can improve.
So from predicting what people might buy next month down to just like scanning a barcode in the warehouse, it all hinges on smart tech.
Precisely. You really can't do modern orders management well without a solid tech backbone, whether that's sophisticated AI for planning or just a reliable scanner, again, for getting boxes out the door.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as we wrap up this deep dive, I think the big message from the guide and just exploring this is pretty clear. Orders management, it's not just some back office thing. It's really about delivering on the promises you make and nailing those key bits, thinking in terms of delivering solutions, giving people clear tracking, getting those confirmations right.
Yeah.
That's what really makes a business stand out. It's how you build those lasting customer connections.
And understanding all this helps you, whether you're running the show or just buying things online, appreciate, well, how complex it is, but also how important it is to make it all smoother, make that experience better. The guide leaves us with a pretty powerful final thought. Let's make every order count.
Yeah, and building right on that, the thought that sticks with me is because behind every delivery is a customer who trusted us to get it right. Which, raises a really important question for anyone involved in this, considering everything we've talked about. How are you actively reinforcing that trust? How are you honoring it with every single order that comes through?
That really is the essential question to think about. Thanks, everyone, for joining us for this deep dive.